All right. Our third test case. Now we get to pick on Paul a little bit. So, 2 Thessalonians cannot be by the same writer as 1 Thessalonians. Why? It's because 1 Thessalonians defends an intense belief in the imminence of Jesus' return, while 2 Thessalonians argues that certain things must happen first.
Oh, okay.
So, 2 Thessalonians points to events associated with Jesus' return, events that precede this return, and events that indicate the return has not yet come, as some are arguing in 2 Thessalonians 2, first couple verses
Yeah.
there.
So, the impression is that the return comes on the heels of events that triggered that return in such a way that these intervening events do not supply a long interruption or roadblock to the return, but simply accompany it as it approaches quickly, right? So the idea here is, here's the problem. Is Christ's return imminent, or do there have to be some events that happen before he returns? And the answer is yes.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing to say that those two things are completely opposite of each other.
Right. So notice these events that would happen before his return could happen just immediately before his return, and that solves the issue.
I'm going to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm really hungry. I'm going to do that right now because I'm super hungry. First, I got to get out the bread, and then the peanut butter, then the jelly, then I got to make the sandwich, and then I have to eat it.
Yeah.
Well, which is it, Patrick?
Are you eating it now, or do you have
sandwich?
to get bread?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So the absence of these accompanying events simply means that the day of the Lord had not yet come, but it says nothing about how close it is. Right. So our author suggests that Ehrman here is exaggerating the difference between these two.
Right. Especially since it seems like once the church age happens, that's when, at least probably post apostolic documents of the New Testament, it seems like the end times is considered at that point. So Jesus could come at any moment, but also there'll be these events that happen.
Yeah.
So the tension between soon and not so soon, because other things will occur first, is not only found in Paul, but also built into the understanding of the last days in the early church at large. For example, compare Matthew 24:33, when it says, "You will see all these things, he is near," with the next couple verses, 24:44. "You must also be ready because the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect."
Right. So there's that same tension there, right?
These things must happen, and then it's going to happen.
But there's an immediate, return. Right. Yeah, imminent return, rather. Yeah.
So 1 and 2 Thessalonians deal with opposite elements in this inherent tensions in Paul's end times teaching, which if you get one, you're like, oh, okay, so it's near, or there's no other events that happen. And then Paul can write a letter that addresses that opposite feeling. Okay, well, here's the other part to it. Things have to happen first before, but it is near, and these things could happen, boom, one right after another.
Right.
So the end could come at any time, but would ensue alongside major spiritual deterioration and desecration. And especially if you're looking at 2nd, 3rd century, you have all these false teachers. You have the Gnostics coming in. 3rd, 4th century, you have the Romans come in, burning books. Fall of Jerusalem, AD 70. I mean, all these things could really jumpstart your emotions. And so Paul is going to say, yes, all these things could be the thing that capsizes the whole shebang, and Jesus could return. Or here's some other things to look at when you're in the midst of World War I, World War II, the nuclear age, even more so.
So it's imminent, but yet there are things that need to happen just prior, one could argue, before it happens, right?
Right.